Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make a smoked pulled pork picnic roast on the Masterbuilt electric smoker. I've got a picnic roast that has some skin attached to it, and I'm gonna show you a cool trick to use that skin that most people just throw out. So stay tuned, let's get to the video. What you're going to need for this cook is a picnic roast. I picked this one up for about $10 Canadian at the grocery store. It's a really good deal. And the difference between a picnic roast and a regular pork butt is that the picnic roast is usually lower down on the pig's leg and it's got the skin attached to it normally. So as you can see here, there's all this good skin on the outside of the picnic roast, and there's also the inside bone. That's what makes it a picnic roast. What we're gonna do is we're going to score the actual skin to let all the smoke and the salt penetrate it, but also so we can crisp it up and eat it like crackling, so we're not wasting any of that good skin. Also, what you'll need for this cook is some olive oil to rub on the picnic shoulder. You're going to want some rub, and I've got my rub recipe in the description section below, so check that out, or use whatever your favorite rub is. You're also going to need some kosher salt or coarse grained salt for this. And you're going to need an X-Acto knife or a really sharp knife for scoring and cutting into that skin. If you've got a dull knife, it's really tough to cut into pork skin. So let's get to scoring the actual skin, and then we'll apply the olive oil and the salt and the rub, and we'll let it sit for about 30 minutes to absorb all those flavors. So let's cut into this picnic roast here and get it out of the package. It's got a string attached to it, so we're just gonna cut that off because we don't need that. Put that to the side. And now we've got a bunch of skin here that we need to score. So I'm gonna make some scores on it. Do about 1 inch or a ½ inch space scores in whatever pattern you want. I'm going to try to make some sort of chevron or triangle pattern here just to make it look nice, but really you can just score it crosshatch or however you wanna do it. So let's see if I can do this properly. Now I've got this pork picnic roast all scored, and there's a nice pattern on the outside of it, which I really like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub some olive oil on the outside of the skin to protect it, and I'm going to rub some kosher salt in it. I'm also going to rub the actual meat part. I'm not gonna put too much rub on the actual skin itself, but for the meat, it's fair game for the rub. So I'm gonna go ahead and prepare that right now. Okay. Now this is ready to go in the oven. Again, the oven will be at 475 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just gonna transfer it onto this pan and put it right in the oven. Woo! Smoky in there. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Here we go. Wow. All right, this picnic shoulder has been in the oven for about an hour now, and we've got a nice and crispy outside skin. So now we're gonna put this in the Masterbuilt electric smoker at 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna leave it in there probably for about 2 to 3 hours until it reaches an internal temperature of 140-ish degrees Fahrenheit. Right now I'm gonna put a little bit more rub on the outside just to get a little bit more on there, and then I'm gonna put it in the smoker. The wood that I'm using is a mix of cherry and hickory wood. So let's get this into the smoker. Now roughly every hour I'm going to check on the picnic shoulder, and I'm going to check the temperature with my therm pen here just to see what it's sitting at. It's only about 122 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which is fine, so it's got some way to go, but I'm going to just put a little bit of moisture on it. This is just an apple cider vinegar mixture mixed with some apple juice. I'm gonna rub that on the outside just to make sure this doesn't dry out. If you want to get a squirt bottle, it's actually a lot easier to just spray it on. But this is what I have right now. And now I'm going to put a little bit of extra rub on the outside, just to build that bark up. All right, there we go. Now it's going back in, and we'll check on it in another hour. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so it's been about another hour, and I'm going to check the temperature again. Perfect. So we're around 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we're going to pull it out, and we're going to put it in a aluminum foil wrap, and we're going to put it back in. All right, we've got our pork picnic shoulder out of the Masterbuilt electric smoker. I pulled it off at around 140 degrees Fahrenheit, checked it with my therm pen, and now we're gonna wrap it in tin foil because we want to maintain all of the moisture and everything inside of the picnic roast until it reaches about 195 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're gonna pull it out of the Masterbuilt electric smoker, and it's gonna be super tender and fall off the bone. So stay tuned. All right, so I just took the picnic roast out of the Masterbuilt electric smoker. It's at about 195 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the perfect temperature we want it to be at. I'm just gonna test the temperature again with my Thermapen. And the problem I had, by the way, with this Thermapen is I actually put it in too far and I pierced the actual foil, so a lot of the liquid came out into the smoker, which is not good. So I later learned by reading the manual that you only need to actually put that much of the Thermapen in, and all the temperature taking power comes from that little tip. So I'm gonna test it right now. Try not to hit a bone. Okay, so we're at around 195 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which is perfect. I'm gonna let this sit for about half an hour, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna start taking it apart and pulling it. All right, I've waited long enough. This thing is down to about 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's time to take it out of its foil wrapping and then pull it. So I'm going to unwrap this thing and see what we got. Wow. It's really juicy. Oh, woo! Crazy. All right. I'm gonna get my other camera so I can do a close-up here. This is what you gotta do when you're filming by yourself. All right, look at that. Look how the bone has just come right out of the meat. Like, it's so tender. So this bone needs to come out, and the rest of this needs to be pulled. But I just wanted to show you before we start pulling it apart how juicy and tender it is. Look at that. So I'm gonna look at the actual skin part. So here's the skin. You can see that the skin has all pulled apart. And I think, let's see, let's do a test here. We could probably just pull this right off. Look at that. Look at how easily that pork skin just pulls off. Yum. Okay, let's pull the rest of this off. Oh my God, yeah. It just like pulls easily off of the meat. And then you're stuck with some little crispy bites of cracklin that you can actually eat. I'm gonna try one out right now, actually. Oh man. That's unexpected, actually. It's actually really tender. It's crispy on the outside, but it's not very chewy. It's like really tender and delicious. The fat really melts in your mouth. So we'll pull the rest of the skin off here. Okay. And now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 forks and I'm just gonna start pulling it apart, and I'll put it into another bowl. But you can see just from how I've started here, how easy it is to pull this. Okay, here we go. Now that I've got all of the meat off of the bone, I am going to pull this apart. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of barbecue sauce in. I'm gonna add some Bullseye barbecue sauce. Let's cook this in. Just to add a little bit of moisture and bind everything together. All right, now this pork is all pulled and I'm gonna give it a taste. Looks really good, can't wait. Oh man, that's good. So tender. Yeah, this is super tender. This is super good. This is really good. Actually, I'm gonna get my little buddy and I'm gonna give him a taste test as well. Come on, Reg. I know. Yeah, look at this. You're gonna get a special treat tonight. Okay, you want a little bite? All right, let's get this one. Does this one look good? Does that look good? Okay, there you go. There you go. Well, it sounds like Reggie really likes it too, so it must be good. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found the video helpful, please hit that subscribe button. All right, thanks a lot, guys. See you on the trail.